regular people. What is the meaning of successful?
Exitoso.
Exitoso.
Exitosos. So are they successful or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they are successful because they are better prepared for the future, right? Are you defensive pessimists
So
or
so.
are you optimists?
I am defensive pessimist.
You are a defensive pessimist, all right.
Yes.
Entonces Florencia piensa todo lo que está mal desde el momento uno.
Como que
Bien.
me preveo mucho.
All right, very good. Silvina, what about you? Optimist or defensive
Pessimist.
pessimist?
Defensive
Pessimist.
pessimist. Yes.
All right. Ok, Paula Vera está tímida hoy no prendió la cámara, igual que Flor.
A mí no me funciona la cámara, no sé por qué.
Deben estar acostadas en la cama. ¿Cuántas veces deben haber tomado clases acostadas en la cama? Bien.
No.
Paula, what about you?
Sometimes depends on the situation.
All right, so sometimes you are defensive pessimist and sometimes you are an optimist. All right. Rodrigo, what about you?
I think I am optimist.
All the time?
Maybe, I don't know.
All right. Okay. So perhaps it depends on the situation too.
Yes. Depends of situation.
Very good. Okay. Listen, today we're going to work a little bit with one of the documents I gave you in the classroom. So go to Google Classroom because you will need those documents. The document that we are going to use right now is one about Murphy's Law. I don't know if you can see it. I am going to share my screen. Murphy's Law. That is the name of the document, and it is uploaded to Google Classroom. So, what about law? What is the meaning of law?
Ley.
Ley, very good. Ley. And Murphy, do you know Murphy's Law?
I don't know.
La ley de Murphy.
Yeah, la ley de Murphy, but do you know that law?
Yes.
All right. What does it mean?
That anything bad that will happen will happen.
All right. Okay. So let's see. Let's see a little bit about Murphy's Law. So the first thing is, you're going to read something, but the first thing is that here there is a situation that you need to answer. If you are in a slow queue, what is the meaning of queue? ¿Se acuerdan de esto? Creo que lo vi con ustedes o con
Fila.
Very good. Una fila. If you are in a slow queue at the supermarket and you change to a different queue, what will usually happen? What do you think?
The other one moves faster.
Okay, so perhaps the other one will go faster. So the one that you change, the one that you change, or the other one?
The other one.
The other one, the one that you left.
The
All
one
right.
that
Okay. What else? What else will happen? What do you think? So you are in a queue at the supermarket. Está muy lerda. It is very, very slow. So you change to a different queue. ¿Qué puede pasar? No idea. Okay. Listen. Now we're going to
El
read.
código de algún producto que no encuentran por ningún lado.
Sorry?
El cliente adelante pide el código de algún producto o algo así.
All right, so perhaps the client has some questions about a product, and okay, so the queue goes, I would say, slower, más lenta de lo que ya estaba. All right, so now we're going to read the first two paragraphs of this article. All right, this one. We're going to read the first two paragraphs of the article, and you're going to tell me who was Murphy and what is his law. All right? So it says, if something can go wrong, what happened? So there you have the text. Two minutes. All right. So let's see. Sorry, did you finish reading? Yeah?
Yes, teacher.
All right. So who was Murphy?
Military.
He's an
Military.
engineer.
All right.
American aerospace engineer.
Very good. So
Yes.
it is an American aerospace engineer. What is the meaning of engineer?
Genial.
Ingeniero.
Ingeniero, right? Ingeniero. So from the 1940s. Very good. So he was trying to, or he was working with some aircrafts, right? Son los aviones. Right. And what about his theory? What about his law?
Habla sobre, o sea, no sé cómo decirlo en inglés, pero habla sobre prevenir algo que capaz que puede pasar.
Que todo
No.
lo que, o sea, todo lo que te
Okay,
pasa
okay.
mal.
English.
Um,
Everything.
if there is something that can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Okay, so the same thing that the classmate before said. So if there is something that can go wrong, si hay algo que puede ir mal, all right, so va a ir mal. Okay? So that is the law. That is his law. All right? No, acá no estamos hablando nada de prevention. All right? Here, for example, you have some other instances or examples of things that can, or I mean, that can go wrong, for example, at different places. For example, you have a shopping center. So, for example, what would happen if you lose a glove? What is the meaning of glove?
Guante.
Ajá, un guante. A glove and buy a new pair. if you lose a glove and buy a new pair, what will happen?
You will find the other glove.
All right, okay, but this is not Murphy's law.
Okay.
You see? Why?
Yes.
Because you are trying to be positive. But in this case, you have to be,
No, because you spend money.
yeah. So if you lose a glove and buy a new pair, you spend money. All right? So
Yes.
that will be, I mean, here, for example, you have to be negative. Because, for example, it says, he got a reputation for always thinking the worst. ¿Qué es lo que era the worst?
Lo peor.
Yeah, the worst thing that could happen in every situation. ¿Ok? Él pensaba siempre lo peor. ¿Está? Entonces él era un qué?
Pessimist.
Very good, but what kind of pessimist?
Defensive.
A defensive pessimist. So he always anticipated, right? What things could go wrong. All right. So here, for example, if you lose a glove and buy a new pair, I don't know, you will spend money, or I don't know, you will lose the other pair. I don't know. What about this one? If you order something online, ¿qué podemos decir?
It could be a scam.
All right. So we can say that. No, lo voy a hacer un poquito mejor. So it could be a scam, right?
What is the meaning of scam?
What is the meaning of scam?
Error
Estafa.
or
Ajá,
okay.
una estafa, ¿sí? Scam. O, por ejemplo, si, por ejemplo, lo quiero decir yo, I will be, I will be scammed, ¿sí? Me van a estafar. Voy a hacer una estafa, una estafadora. I will be scammed. Como estafado o estafada. No sé, como, sí, la mejor traducción es eso. What about this one? About transport. If you stop waiting for a bus and start walking. If you stop waiting for the bus. Oh no. La red Tulum doesn't work appropriately. So let's walk. Let's walk in Villa, no sé, Villa, el agujero negro. What would you say?
It could be, perdón, es el colectivo. Dangerous.
All right, but we need to think about the worst. If you stop waiting for a bus and start walking,
You will.
you will what?
O sea, como que estarías en peligro. You will
Okay, so you will be
be
In dangerous
in
or
danger.
in danger.
In danger. You will be in danger, right? All right, so we have the same with technology and air travel. All right, here, for example, I mean, you can read those things and you can think about the worst that can happen. Here, for example, you have 8 examples of Murphy's Law. All right, sorry, you have 8 examples of Murphy's Law about the endings, and I want you to match the different endings with the different, I would say, situations that you have here. All right, estas las vamos a sacar. Okay, so here you have different situations. Okay, different situations. I want you to match the different endings, the different bad situations that can happen if you have, or if you are in this situation, in the shopping, in the transport, in technology or in air travel situation. Is it clear?
¿Lo hacemos, profe?
Yeah, very quickly. Esto no lo puedo mostrar así, así que van a tener que sí o sí ver el documento.
Pero bien, no lo entendí mucho. Tenemos
You need to...
qué puede pasar en cada situación.
Here, for example, you have the different endings. ¿Qué son los endings?
Finales.
So you have different endings of these situations.
Como la última parte de la oración.
Very good.
No.
So you need to match the different situations here with the bad endings. So let's do the first one. So we said if you lose a glove and buy a new pair, what would it happen from one of these?
You will find the lost one.
All right, so you will find the lost one. Entonces te querés comer una, más o menos porque gastaste plata al Pepe. ¿Sí? Entonces, how do you say this one? If you lose a glove and buy a new pair, what would it happen? Which is the letter?
D.
Very good. That would be D. Ven que no se ve mucho. D. I know. D. What about the next one? If you order something online,
You will be out when they deliver it.
very good. So you won't get it. Which letter is it?
H.
H. Very good. What about this one? If you stop waiting for a bus and start walking,
B. 3 will come at the same time.
3 will come at the same time. And wait a second.
Por sí, profe.
No. That will be 3 will come at the same time. So 3 buses will come at the same time. So you stop walking, you miss the bus stop, all right? And 3 buses come at the same time. Y no te lo puedes tomar porque no estás en la parada, all right? So that will be B, right? 3 will come at the same time. What about this one? If you are in a taxi and you are late for something important,
C.
all right, what is C?
All the traffic lights
All the traffic lights
will be red.
will be red. So you are getting later, all right? Not just late, later than, I mean, much later than ever. All right. What about this one? Technology. If a technician comes to fix your computer,
A.
what is A?
It will immediately start working.
All right, very good. So it will immediately start working. What about this one? If you need to print a document urgently, ¿qué le pasa a las impresoras?
The printer won't have any paper.
All right, that will be what? F. Very good. So the printer won't have any paper. Y ahí se traba y hay que volverlo a resetear, right? What about this one? If you get to the airport early,
E.
all right, what is E?
Your flight will be delayed.
Very good, your flight will be delayed. All right? And if you are late for your flight,
G.
okay, what is G?
Eh,
Very good. Fíjense, a security quiere decir en eso donde ustedes ponen los bolsos y todo eso, entonces siempre se demoran un montón. So you will get very, very late for your flight. All right, so listen. Here, for example, you have some important things that we need to pay attention. This is what is called a conditional sentence. ¿Sí? Pero antes de hablar de condition, quiero que me digan lo siguiente. Cuando digo, for example, three will come at the same time. All the traffic lights will be red. Your flight will be delayed. The printer won't have any paper. Which of the uses of will is the one that is present in all of these sentences? It will immediately start working. Three will come at the same time. All the traffic lights will be red. So, are those sentences promises, immediate decisions, or predictions?
Predictions.
Predictions.
Yeah, very good. So these are predictions. We are trying to imagine about the future, but we don't know what will happen, all right? We don't know that. So we are trying to predict the future, okay? So normally with the first conditional, or we use the first conditional to talk about things that can be or that are possible. I mean, we use it to talk about possible things in the future, all right? Because we don't know if those things will happen. And the structure is very, very simple, ¿sí? Cuando yo me refiero a la estructura es, bueno, ¿qué tengo que poner para formar el condicional, ¿sí? Cuando yo hablo de condicional, son oraciones que generalmente tienen. Si estoy hablando de condicionales, ¿qué tienen? ¿Qué tienen esas oraciones? Tienen un resultado, ya hemos dicho, un resultado, una predicción, pero para que esa condición se cumpla o no, tengo que tener, perdón, para que ese resultado se cumpla o no, yo tengo que tener ¿qué cosa?
Una oración previa para ver si pasa o no.
Bien, ¿y qué es esa oración previa? Ya lo dije como 5 veces. ¿Qué es esa oración previa?
Si está nublado, va a llover.
Ajá. ¿Y si no está nublado, es probable que llueva?
No.
No. Entonces, ¿qué tengo que tener? Si yo, por ejemplo, acá, si yo no pierdo mi guante y no me compro uno nuevo, ¿es probable que yo pierda el otro? O que, perdón, que encuentre el otro, el
Y
perdido.
no.
Entonces, ¿qué es eso que tengo previo?
Como dijo Flor, un hecho.
No, not exactly. What is the name
Una,
of the sentence?
una condición.
Very good. Por eso se llaman conditionals. Van a ver que son un montón de conditionals, right? But these ones are all conditions, all right? If the condition, all right, is fulfilled, quiere decir si la condición se cumple, es probable que pase esto. Si no se cumple, y no es probable entonces. ¿Se dan cuenta? Es muy obvio. All right. So here we're going to use, or we are going to see the first conditional. That is, normally we have this if. And what is this if?
Sí.
Sí. Pero es el sí de la condición. ¿Está? Es el sí de la condición. No es el sí de yes. No. De afirmación no. Este es el sí de condición. And then we have the present. And what kind of present we have here? Present continuous?
No. Past.
What about this type of present?
Simple.
Presente
Simple
simple.
present.
Present simple, ¿sí? Present simple. And then we have the structure with will, ¿sí? Como ya lo hemos visto en otros lados, ¿sí? Como una predicción así, como un cita. Bien, ¿qué pasa? ¿Puedo yo dar vuelta, por ejemplo, poner este if y ponerlo acá? Entonces yo digo, for example, you lose a glove and buy a new pair. You will find the lost one if. ¿Puedo decir así?
No.
No. Ahí estaría diciendo. Perdés un guante, compras uno nuevo y compras uno nuevo, vas a encontrar el perdido. Sí. No. Obviamente que no
Pero,
tiene
profe, ¿no
ningún.
se podía cambiar la
Wait.
condición tipo la oración al revés?
All right.
Ponerla atrás, por ejemplo.
Bien. Este if no lo podemos poner acá. Bien. ¿Qué pasa si yo pongo este if acá? Entonces yo digo, you lose a glove and buy a new pair if you find the lost one. Can I say that?
Yes.
Yes. It's okay.
Why? You tell me.
Sigue siendo
Why?
una predicción.
Okay. Can you say it in Spanish?
Tú pierdes, no me acuerdo cómo era la frase.
Sí, tú perdés o vos perdés un guante
Vos perdés un guante.
y comprás.
Para mí,
Sí.
profe, no está el will.
No.
Ajá. Bien. Vos perdés un guante y compras un nuevo par. Sí, encontrarás el viejo.
Claro, para mí no está bien. No sé cómo se dice.
Claro, no se puede. Acá, por ejemplo, no puede ir. ¿Sí? Ahí no puede ir. ¿Está? Entonces, yo le dije a la compañera recién que sí se puede cambiar el if. ¿Bien? Pero, ¿qué pasa? El if always goes together with the condition. Always goes together with the condition. So we're going to say if you lose a glove and buy a new pair. If you order something online. If you stop waiting for a bus and start walking. The if always goes with the condition. All right? With the present simple in this case. But we can change the order of the, I would say, the different chunks. So, for example, we are going to have, this is one chunk, right? And this is the other chunk, all right? Chunk es como un pedacito. So, I can say, you will find the lost one if you lose a glove and buy a new pair. Ahí, ¿cómo sería en castellano?
¿Lo podés repetir?
Yes. You will find the lost one if you lose a glove and buy a new pair.
Vas a encontrar el que perdiste si es que perdiste uno y te compraste otro. O sea,
Claro.
te compraste los dos.
Si perdés uno y te compras el otro.
¿Que así
Compras
sigue
uno
teniendo
nuevo.
el mismo sentido? ¿O
Y
no?
así tiene el mismo sentido.
Claro.
Fíjate, por ejemplo, si yo digo, if you are in a taxi, perdón, acá, vamos a decir, all the traffic lights will be red, how would you say that in Spanish?
¿Qué cosa?
All the traffic lights will be red.
Todos los semáforos están en rojo.
Claro, los semáforos.
¿Están en rojos?
Van a estar. Ah, no.
Bien.
Van a estar en rojo.
Estarán, ¿sí? Estarán en rojos, pero nadie dice así en castellano. Entonces, decimos, y todos los semáforos se van a poner en rojos, ¿sí? todos los semáforos o todos los semáforos se van a poner en rojos si estás en un taxi, y estás llegando tarde para algo importante. ¿Está? Tiene el mismo sentido que decir,
Yes.
si estás en un taxi, estás llegando tarde para algo importante, todos los semáforos se van a poner en rojo. So the order here doesn't alter the product, ¿sí? Es como la matemática. El orden no altera el producto, ¿sí? So here, for example, we can play with that. Only if the if part or the if chunk goes with the present. Solo si el sí va con el presente. Sí o sí. Yo no puedo cambiar, no puedo poner el if en cualquier lado. Yo puedo cambiar los chunks de lugar, pero no la condición sin el if. All right? Okay, so do any of these things often happen to you? That, for example, you are very, very late and you need to, I don't know, and you need to take a taxi and all the traffic lights will be red.
Yes. Yes, sometimes.
So sometimes that one or some other situations.
That one.
That
No
one.
in a taxi, but in my car or
Uh-huh.
I
Or
don't
on
know.
the bus.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, profe,
Okay.
¿cómo se dice onda verde?
Onda verde? I don't know. The green wave. I don't know. No sé cómo se dirá onda verde. I don't know. But all the green lights are synchronized. Están sincronizadas. No sé. But my question was, do any of these things or situations often happen to you? Which ones and why?
The
Rodrigo.
printer won't have any paper
The printer.
sometimes too.
Yeah, the printer. Or the ink. You don't have ink.
What is ink?
Ink is the one that goes in order to print. For example, your pen, or for example, your highlighter, right, has ink. Ink. You need to write in ink.
Yes.
¿Qué es eso?
Como la tinta,
La tinta. Ajá. Ink.
Yes.
Ink.
Always.
Yeah. Right. So, Flor, what about you? Flor, no Migani, Flor Saavedra. What about you? Do any of these things often happen to you, or what?
Yes. For example, yesterday I went to university
Ajá.
and how do you say estaba llegando tarde? No llegué tarde, pero estaba en eso.
Okay, I was about, estaba por llegar tarde. I was about to get late.
Later, bueno.
Ajá.
And the bus, ¿cómo se dice? La calle está, o sea, la Ignacio La Rosa está muy cortada, entonces tiene muchos desvíos.
Yeah, there are many things now. They are trying to repair the street. So it has to, I mean, the poor bus or the poor bus driver has to sort out different, como esquivar, sort out different things in the street.
Yes,
Yeah.
obra. Pero llegué bien.
All right. So fortunately, you got on time. All right. Listen, here, for example, we are going to listen to two stories. All right, two stories. First, we are going to listen to 6 extracts. All right. Son como 6 extractos de diferentes situaciones, ¿sí? Pero que están dentro de estas historias. And you're going to circle the words and phrases that you hear. So for example, here you have different extracts. This one, perdón. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. But pay attention because this one is Sue's stories and this one is Peter's story. You are going to circle the words and phrases that you hear. For example, here you have 2 options, reception or depression. Here, for example, try for and apply for. Got cut off or got off. ¿Sí? ¿Cuáles son lo que ellos dicen? Okay? And you're going to tell me, based on the story, basándonos en la historia, what do you think they mean? Okay? What do you think they mean? And wait a second. I'm going to share the audio. This is audio 8.13. All right.
Profe, van a ir en orden, ¿no es cierto?
Ajá.
8.13. 1.
It was the recession, and it was very difficult to get a job.
2.
I applied for lots of different jobs.
3.
We got cut off because the bus went into a tunnel.
4.
I was interested in either a trip to see birds or a trip to see a tiger.
5.
I thought it would be really cool to see a tiger in the wild.
6.
We spent the whole morning looking for the tiger.
8.13. 1.
It was the recession, and it was very difficult to get a job.
2.
I applied for lots of different jobs.
3.
We got cut off because the bus went into a tunnel.
4.
I was interested in either a trip to see birds or a trip to see a tiger.
5.
I thought it would be really cool to see a tiger in the wild.
6.
We spent the whole morning looking for the tiger.
All right. So, what are the expressions? For Peter, Peter wanted to get a job. So, it was the
Recession.
the recession. Very good. Oh, the recession. Very good. Recession. And it was very difficult to get a job. What about this one?
Teacher, what is the meaning of recession?
Recession. All right. A recession normally is when you resign something. Do you know what
Claro,
resign? Sí. Pero es
eh,
como.
como volver.
Ajá. It is the same as in Spanish.
Claro,
Eh,
la recesión.
Sí, pero es más que nada está asociado cuando, por ejemplo, la economía de un país no está muy buena. ¿Sí? Por ejemplo, cuando la economía de un país está... Here, for example, in Argentina. In Argentina, we live in recession normally, right? So,
Okay.
normally it is kind of difficult to get a job. But recession normally, or people tend to use recession, for example, after wars, after, for example, during the pandemic, it
Yes.
was a recession
Okay.
of many jobs. What about this one?
Like,
Applied
Apply.
for.
4. Yes.
We
Got
Took
cut.
off.
got cut off, right? We got cut
Got
off.
cut off.
Yes.
What about this one? What about Sue's story?
I was interested in either.
In either, ta 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 ta, or, okay? What about this one? I thought it would be really cool to see a tiger
In the wild.
wild.
in the wild. Very good, in the
Profe,
wild.
what's the meaning of either?
Okay, let's see. Wait a second. And what about this one? We spent the
Wood.
or all morning.
All morning.
The whole morning.
All morning.
All right, looking for the tiger. So we have already said recession. What about apply for? What do you think they mean?
Aplicar.
Aplicar.
Claro.
Ajá, aplicar para diferentes trabajos. What about this one? We got cut off. ¿Qué será got cut off?
Se cortó la señal.
Ajá. So normally this happens with mobile phones, right? So with mobile phones, normally when we go into a tunnel, or for example, when we go to the mountains, right? We normally get cut off, all right? We don't have any signal. So we need to estar así con los celulares por todos lados. What about this one? It says, I was interested in either a trip to the sea, sorry, a trip to see birds, or a trip to see a tiger. ¿Qué quiere decir eso?
Viajar a ver los tigres, ¿puede ser, teacher?
En
All
ambos.
right, to see a tiger or to see a bird. But both, I mean, these are options, right? These are options or choices.
Claro.
So I was interested in this choice or the other choice. ¿Sí? ¿O no? ¿Qué piensan
Yes.
ustedes? ¿Son choices, son options? ¿Qué son?
Claro, son opciones por lo que dice or. Una
Ajá.
u otra.
Muy bien. Entonces, esto se puede traducir como, y estaba interesado en, ya sea, a trip to see birds, o, ¿sí? O a trip to see a tiger.
Profe, ¿puede ser que signifique tampoco también?
No.
¿No?
Ah, sí.
Either.
Pero eso ya es otra cosa.
Claro, sí.
Either, neither, or, nor. Es muy complejo. Yo nunca lo enseño, ¿sí? En el laboratorio, porque no, es muy complejo y necesitas como 5 clases como para llegar a entender. Porque hay muchas excepciones. Si yo digo, por ejemplo, atendiendo a tu pregunta, Nicolás, si yo digo, oh, I won't have a coffee either, ¿sí? Ahí es tampoco. ¿Sí?
Claro.
Hay que decir
Perfecto.
eso. All right. So, I thought it would be really cool to see a tiger in the wild. What is the meaning of in the wild?
En la selva, en...
Ajá, al aire libre, ¿sí?
Claro.
Como en la selva, como en su naturaleza.
Salvaje.
And we spent the whole morning. What is that?
Toda la mañana.
Bien, no decimos all morning, decimos the whole morning. Toda la mañana. The whole family, toda la familia. The whole class, toda la clase. Looking for the tiger. All right, so we're going now to listen to the stories once, and you're going to tell me why these stories are examples of Murphy's Law. All right, so why are these stories examples of Murphy's Law?
14. Peter wanted to get a 8.14. Peter wanted to get a job.
I did maths at university, and normally After doing maths at university, people get a job in a bank or in IT. But when I finished, it was the recession, and it was very difficult to get a job. I was unemployed for quite a long time. I was looking for jobs, and I applied for lots of different jobs, but they just answered, "Sorry, we don't want you." And I was getting a bit depressed. This went on for about 4 months, and then one day I was on a number 49 bus in London. I can even remember where I was sitting, and my phone rang. I said hello, and a woman said, "Hello, you applied for a job with us a few months ago. Are you still interested?" So I said, "Yes, absolutely. I'm very interested." So then she said, "We'd like you to come for an interview." And then, at that moment, we got cut off because the bus went into a tunnel. And the phone number wasn't on my phone. It just said unknown number. And I couldn't remember what the name of the company was because I'd applied for so many jobs. So I thought, 4 months of nothing, and then when they ring, I get cut off. Luckily, they called back the next day, and in the end, I had an interview, and I got the job.
Sue wanted to see a tiger.
This happened when I was at a conference in Thailand. The conference hotel was amazing. It was in a beautiful national park called Khao Yai, north of Bangkok. We were very busy with talks and meetings most of the time, but we had one free morning, and we could choose from different trips or activities. I was interested in either a trip to see birds or a trip to see a tiger. A tiger, not tigers, because they told us that there was only one tiger in the whole park. Well, I chose the tiger trip because I thought it would be really cool to see a tiger in the wild. But we had to leave really early in the morning because we had to travel quite a long way to the part of the park where the tiger usually was. The bird trip was nearer the hotel. So we tiger watchers got up at 5 in the morning, but our guide said that we probably wouldn't see the tiger because, you know, there was only one tiger. We finally got there, and we spent the whole morning looking for the tiger, but no luck. But we saw some nice birds, and it was fun. So when we got back to the conference hotel, we felt we'd had a really good morning. But then the other group got back, the ones who went to see the birds, and of course they saw lots of amazing birds, but they also saw the tiger. I suppose that day it wasn't in its usual part of the park, and I thought, isn't that typical? You go on the tiger trip and you don't see the tiger, but the people on the bird trip see the tiger.
All right. So, in general, what happened to Peter? ¿Qué le pasó? A ver.
He got cut off when the person called him.
Sorry?
¿No se escuchó?
No.
He got cut off when the person called him.
Very good. So he got cut off when a person, an important person, called him. Very good. But after that, but before that, ¿qué le pasó?
He was looking for a job.
For a job. And could he find a job finally?
Yes.
All right. He got the job. All right. And what happened to Sue? What about Sue's story? What happened to her? No se entendió nada.
Yo entendía algo como que trabajaba en, no sé si estoy pifiándola, pero en Tailandia, algo así con los tigres, pero no. No sé.
Bien. Miren, vamos a hacer una cosa para que se
Ay.
entienda mejor, ¿sí? Para que se entienda mejor. So, we're going to complete this exercise, right? This exercise. You are going to listen to it again, and we're going to complete this exercise. ¿Qué tienen que hacer en este ejercicio? A ver.
Marcar si es verdadero o correcta la oración.
Ajá, mark true or false, but you need to correct the false sentences, right? Okay. So let's listen to it one more time.
8.14. Peter wanted to get a job.
I did maths at university, and normally, after doing maths at university, people get a job in a bank or in IT. But I finished, it was the recession, and it was very difficult to get a job. I was unemployed for quite a long time. I was looking for jobs, and I applied for lots of different jobs, but they just answered, "Sorry, we don't want you." And I was getting a bit depressed. This went on for about 4 months, and then one day I was on a number 49 bus in London. I can even remember where I was sitting, and my phone rang. I said hello, and a woman said, "Hello, you applied for a job with us a few months ago. Are you still interested?" So I said, "Yes, absolutely. I'm very interested." So then she said, "We'd like you to come for an interview." And then, at that moment, we got cut off because the bus went into a tunnel. And the phone number wasn't on my phone. It just said unknown number. And I couldn't remember what the name of the company was because I'd applied for so many jobs. So I thought, 4 months of nothing, and then when they ring, I get cut off. Luckily, they called back the next day, and in the end, I had an interview, and I got the job.
Sue wanted to see.
All right. So let's do this one. Let's do this one all together. So what about Peter? Peter didn't have qualifications. What do you think? What are qualifications?
Habilidades.
Yeah, but related to...
Está preparado.
Qualification meaning, for example, that you have studies, right? Que estás
capacitación.
Claro, que estás como capacitado para algún trabajo, right? So, did Peter have qualifications?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yeah, he had qualifications. So this one is false. What was he? What was his job?
In a bank.
No.
Math.
Very good.
Something with math.
So he studied math.
Sería como cálculo acá, ¿no?
Claro, como cálculo,
Porque no es
álgebra.
un profesor de matemáticas.
No. So he studied math, right? So he had qualification. He said that normally people who study math work in a bank or, for example, in technological centers or whatever, right? But because of the recession, he couldn't find any job, ¿sí? Porque había una economía que estaba muy fea y bueno, no podía encontrar. So, he wasn't expecting to get a phone call about a job. Is that true or is that false?
True.
True. This one is true, right? This one is true. And what about this one? He couldn't call them back because his phone had no battery.
False.
False. Why false?
Because he doesn't remember the name of the job or the company.
All right. So he doesn't remember the name of the company. ¿Y qué más le pasó?
And then,
number.
All right. And the number, right, was Unknown. What is the meaning of unknown?
Desconocido.
Desconocido, sorry. He couldn't call back, okay? And normally because his phone was cut off. ¿Sí? Estaba sin señal también. All right. So, what do you think this story is an example of Murphy's Law? ¿Cómo podrían poner esta historia con Murphy's Law? A ver, ¿qué se imaginan ustedes? ¿Qué pueden llegar a pasar?
Puede ser if you apply a lot of jobs.
Ok, for.
Con la 3, con la you remember the name of the company.
All right,
maybe.
so you won't remember, because we are talking about the future. So you won't remember the names of the company. Very good. That will be one thing about Murphy's Law. All right, what else? ¿Qué más me pueden llegar a decir?
When you finally get a call for an interview, your phone goes off.
Okay, if you get a job, if you get a call, if you finally get a call, get a call about what? Sorry.
For an interview.
For an interview, right? What will happen?
You can answer or you lose the call.
Okay, you will lose the call or you will be, you will get cut off, right? So these are, for example, things that are applied to Murphy's Law. Remember that Murphy's Law is about predictions, negative predictions in the future, all right? So that you can anticipate those situations. Okay, let's listen to Sue's story once again.
Tiger.
This happened when I was at a conference in Thailand. The conference hotel was amazing. It was in a beautiful national park called Khao Yai, north of Bangkok. We were very busy with talks and meetings most of the time, but we had one free morning, and we could choose from different trips or activities. I was interested in either a trip to see birds or a trip to see a tiger. A tiger, not tigers, because they told us that there was only one tiger in the whole park. Well, I chose the tiger trip because I thought it would be really cool to see a tiger in the wild. But we had to leave really early in the morning because we had to travel quite a long way to the part of the park where the tiger usually was. The bird trip was nearer the hotel. So we tiger watchers got up at 5 in the morning, but our guide said that we probably wouldn't see the tiger because, there was only one tiger. We finally got there, and we spent the whole morning looking for the tiger, but no luck. But we saw some nice birds, and it was fun. So when we got back to the conference hotel, we felt we'd had a really good morning. But then the other group got back, the ones who went to see the birds, and of course they saw lots of amazing birds, but they also saw the tiger. I suppose that day it wasn't in its usual part of the park, and I thought, isn't that typical? You go on the tiger trip, and you don't see the tiger. But the people on the bird trip see the tiger.
All right, so this is funnier than the other one. So, poor woman. So, Sue didn't have much free time at a conference. So she went to a place for a conference. Did she have some free time or not?
Not. It's true.
It's true. It's false. It's true.
All right, it's true. Very good. So she had what?
One morning free.
One free morning. Very
Free
good.
morning.
Very good. What about this one? The guide, el guía, right? The guy was optimistic about seeing the tiger.
False.
False.
All right. Why false?
Because it's only one tiger.
Yeah. It was
And he told that o sea que no lo iban a poder ver.
Sí, porque era just one tiger.
Claro, porque era uno solo.
And what about this one? Sue didn't really enjoy her trip.
False.
False. All right. Why?
She said she had a nice time.
What?
She said she had a nice time, even though they didn't see the tiger.
Okay. So perhaps this one, it could be both false and true. It depends. I mean, perhaps she didn't enjoy it as much as she could have enjoyed, right? Pero no lo disfrutó tanto como lo podría haber disfrutado, ¿sí? But, all right, pero terminó disfrutando algo, ¿sí? Entonces, it could be both, false or true. ¿Sí? Esta dependiendo, esta me parece que es más una opinión. All right, so listen. So this story is about a woman who wanted to see something, but she couldn't see it. And I mean, she had options. She chose to see one thing and not the other thing, right? Not the birds, right? But the birds group, right? Finally saw the birds and the tiger. So it was a very frustrating situation for this woman who paid for this trip. So what kind of Murphy's Law instances or examples you can give me from this story? Murphy's Law examples.
Puede ser,
podría ser?
if you pay for a trip, only one tiger.
Okay, if you pay for a trip to see a tiger.
Yo decía solo un tigre en el no sé cómo decirlo. Si pagas por ver un solo tigre en todo el lugar, no lo vas a ver o algo así.
All right. So if you pay for a trip to see just a tiger in the wild,
the tiger won't appear.
Okay. So the tiger won't appear. Very good. Another example? What other example can you give me?
For example, if you have many free time, much free time, no sé cómo.
Much free time.
You will camp.
Okay, if you have a lot of free time, you will. Y miren, can es un verbo como will. Entonces ahí no podemos poner esos dos para decir que vas a poder.
O por ejemplo, you will visit the park.
Ok, wait a second. Porque ahí tengo diferentes ideas. Miren, cuando yo pongo will y yo necesito poner que vamos a poder o que vas a poder, esto no va. You will, can, no. Una forma de decir esto, ¿sí? Para decir podrás en el futuro es you will be able to, right? So you will be able to eat. ¿Qué será eso?
Tendrás como tiempo para comer, algo así.
Ajá, podrás comer.
Podrás comer.
Podrás comer, all right? So, if you have a lot of free time, pero ella tiene mucho tiempo, no tiene mucho tiempo. A mí me parece que está medio confuso eso.
Sí.
Some other example? No? All right, listen. Don't worry. So, for next class, you need to complete with one sentence about Murphy's Law here, about Sue's Street. All right? Si pueden, hagan una más. ¿Está? Eso va a ser para deberes. And the other thing that will be for homework is this one. So, with Murphy's Law or with conditional sentence, I want you to complete these 5 situations. So, for example, if you find a pair of shoes that you really like in a shop, what will happen? Sean negativos, piensen en algo que puede llegar a ser negativo. If you are in the street and you need a taxi, what will happen? If you wear a new white shirt, what will happen? All right? So that will be for homework. Exercise D on this worksheet about Murphy's Law. ¿Está claro? 2 veces. Bien, perfecto. Anótenlo, déjenlo ahí y uno más si pueden de esto. Si pueden, si no, no hay problema. All right. So, listen. Now we're going to do something a little bit, I would say, more exciting. So, you have here one thing that is called termination. Ustedes lo tienen ahí en el Google Classroom. Termination. ¿Lo pueden ver? No sé si lo han
Yes.
visto. All right. Termination. Espérenme que lo estoy abriendo acá para que lo podamos ver en la computadora, para que lo podamos ver en la pantalla. Oh, wait a second. This is termination. Dun, 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 dun. So, termination. Creo que es esta, ¿eh? No me acuerdo qué página era. This one. Termination. And we have a dialogue. We have what? We have first a person. ¿Cómo le decíamos a esta persona?
Fat.
Ok. Pero si no queríamos sonar tan... Porque fat es como decir gordo, gorda.
Oversize, no, teacher.
Oversize no.
Big.
Pero es con over.
Overweight.
Overweight. Overweight. Very good. Overweight. So we have this person, we have this termination, and we have this name, Helga the Hellnut.
Profe, una pregunta, ¿y qué significaría overweight en español?
Overweight is with sobrepeso.
Ah, está bien.
Normally, esto lo hemos, seguramente las chicas lo han visto en inglés 3 o en inglés 2, no me acuerdo. Normally, when you are describing someone, you do not need to sound rude, right? So you say, for example, this person is a bit overweight. Bueno, en este caso, esta persona estaba como muy grande. Entonces, normally we say obese.
Claro,
obese, que es obeso, ¿sí?
Sí.
Pero generalmente las personas que tienen, vos, Nico, que debes trabajar seguramente con personas que son rellenitas, que van al gimnasio para
no puedes decir
no
que
le
son
decimos,
gordos.
y estás gorda o estás
Claro.
gordo. Me voy del gimnasio, te lo debo ahí, andá. El profesor me ha dicho gordo o gorda. ¿Sí?
Claro,
Entonces,
no.
normally it's not the same as, y estás un poquito pasado de peso, tenés que hacer este ejercicio, ¿sí?
Perfecto.
Eso sería overweight. All right. Di el ejemplo, ¿no? Chicos, no es que Nico esté diciendo en el gimnasio eso, obviamente. All right. So, termination. What is termination? What does it mean? ¿Qué querrá decir termination? ¿Qué querrá decir eso?
Finalmente,
Ya, como una terminación, algo que termina, right? Algo que termina. Well, we have Helga, the health nut. The health nut. So I don't know if you are familiar with that, but what is the meaning of nut? What is the meaning of nut?
¿Nuez?
Es una nuez, very good. Si ustedes lo ponen en el traductor, les va a salir nuez, right? But normally, nuts, for example, are you nuts? Are you crazy? Are you nuts? So nut is also crazy, right? So here we have Helga, the health nut. So what does it mean? ¿Qué querrá decir? Tenemos a Helga, a la
loca de la salud.
A la loca de la salud. Very good. Remember that health es salud, ¿sí? Bien. So it says Helga and Bruno. Let's see. Lucia, now that you're very talkative. Lucia, would you like to read? Helga and Bruno are?
it is Helga.
No. Helga and Bruno. This one.
Are in the park. How
Uh-huh.
long in the total do they exercise?
Very good. How long in total do they exercise? All right. So you need to answer that question. So I want you to read the dialogue. Let's see. Volunteers for Helga. ¿Alguien quiere ser Helga? Volunteers.
Ay, teacher, but mi internet no funciona bien. Así que...
All right. So Lucia is going to be Helga. And for Bruno? Tengo que decir, chico, a esta altura tengo que decir. Rocío, you are very quiet. So Rocío, you're going to be Bruno. Okay? Rocío?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to be Bruno. Yeah. So, you start. Vamos a leerlo.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, with her and
Ay, creo que a Rocío se le va el internet. Rocío.
Ay, yo los escucho. ¿Me escuchan?
O a mí se me va o...
Sí, se escucha un toque entrecortado.
Se corta.
All right, don't worry, Rocío, don't worry. Let's see someone else. Así no tenés problema. Silvina. You are Bruno.
Okay.
So, let's get this over with.
Yeah, we better or well end up just going to for coffee like the last time.
On our side,
That's right.
3 minutes later. 3 minutes later. Out
of breath, like.
Yes.
All right, so out of breath, you are not breathing. You are not breathing, so you are out of breath.
Well, I am ready to call it quits. How about you?
So much for 1 hour.
Okay, let's go 10 more minutes, and then we are thought, okay. 5 minutes later.
How many minutes have we been running?
5.
5 done and 5 to go.
Bueno, digo, 2 minutes later, time's up. Well, that's easy for me.
Yeah, that should just about do it.
Next time, we'll go for an hour and a half. I am feeling healthier already.
Oh, that not. Let's go for a cheeseburger.
Good idea.
Wait a minute. All right, sorry that my dog is barking all the time because someone is coming. All right, so listen, is it funny? Is the dialogue funny or not?
So.
So. So porque no lo entendieron o so porque no les parece funny.
Porque tampoco es tan gracioso.
Bien, ya vamos a ver si no les parece gracioso.
El final sí.
All right, so let's see. Listen, pronunciation. Lucía, ¿cómo pronuncias esta palabra?
¿Cuál, teacher?
This one.
¿Dónde estoy? Es que no veo cuál es la que señala.
Esta.
Good hour? No?
One hour.
1 hour.
1 hour. What about this one?
Ready.
Ready. Yo sé que cuesta,
sí.
Pero esa R es muy nuestra. ¿Sí?
Ready.
Ajá, ready. Very good. And this one, ¿cómo pronunciamos todos esta palabra? No solamente Lucía.
True.
Como si yo escribiera así. Como si yo escribiera through. Así.
Yeah, through.
Uh-huh. Muy bien. ¿Y esta, Silvina? ¿Cómo la pronunciamos? Down. Like down, ¿sí? Y esa es healthier. All right. So listen, this dialogue is normally fun. Or these dialogues are very, very funny, right? But, well, in this case, we are talking about health because we are in this unit about fitness, right? And we are going to see just this dialogue. In this dialogue, there are very important phrases that you need to remember, right? Very important phrases that you need to remember. And you can use these phrases not only to talk about health, right? Or to talk about healthy habits, but to talk about many things in everyday situations, all right? So let's see some of the phrases. The first phrase, for example, you need, or this exercise, you need to match the different phrases that you have here with the different words that you need to match in order to complete these phrases, right? So let's see. The first one, it's let's get this what?
Over with.
Very good. Let's get this over with, right? So you say over with. Vamos a hacer un poquito más chiquita la letra, porque si no, no va a entrar todo. So let's get this over with. Very good. All right. What about this one? As usual, we'll end. You can look for the words here in the dialogue. So, as usual, usualmente, como siempre, o como usualmente pasa, will end what? ¿Qué frase tenemos acá?
Will end up.
Very good. So, we will end up, right? Will end up. Very good. So, what is the meaning of let's get this over with?
Terminemos de hacer esto, terminemos esto.
Ajá. Vamos a ponernos las pilas, nos vamos a poner las pilas y vamos a terminar con esto, ¿sí? De una vez por todas. So that is the meaning of let's get this over with. Ya, nos saquémonos de encima. Right? Vamos a poner las pilas y lo hagamos. Very good. What about this one? As usual, we'll end up. ¿Qué es lo que será? Acá, por ejemplo, tienen otra cosa más. ¿O no? We'll end up, dice. Sí, we'll end up. ¿Qué más dice? Will end up solito o will end up going back to his place? ¿Qué creen? ¿Qué será the meaning of end up?
I don't know.
¿Qué
¿Será
será?
algo de finalizar o no?
For example, if I say, imagine this situation. ¿Qué hiciste anoche? Y anoche fuimos a un boliche. Fuimos, no sé, o no, les voy a poner otra situación. Por ejemplo, todos los sábados se juntan en la casa de Miguelito, ¿sí? Todos los sábados se juntan en la casa de Miguelito. Entonces viene un amigo y les dice, che, pero este sábado no salías. Yeah, but we'll end up in Miguelito's house, as usual.
Como que terminamos en haciendo tal cosa.
Very good. So in this case, we need to fill in with some other words, like this one, okay?
Going for coffee.
So, as usual, we'll end up going back to his place. As usual, we end up just going for coffee like the last time. Sería como terminar, pero no es terminar de terminar algo, ¿sí? Es como de terminar, y terminamos haciendo lo mismo de siempre, ¿sí? Como un resultado. ¿Está? So we'll end up going back to his place. Is it clear?
Yes.
All right. What about this one? That should just about
do it.
All right. And this one, what does it mean? ¿Qué dice acá? Oh, yeah. Well, time's up, time's over. That's it for me. That's enough. Yeah, that should just about do it.
Con eso es suficiente.
Ya, sí. Con eso me basta. ¿Está? Eso sería suficiente. Very good. For example, you can go to a supermarket and perhaps you are buying some bottles of wine, bottles of some sodas, bottles of, I don't know, what else. But those bottles are made out of glass. What is the meaning of glass?
Vidrio, cristal.
Vidrio. Están hechas de vidrio. So, the cashier, the person who you need to pay to, right? The cashier gives you a handbag, all right? Una bolsita, a handbag. And I say, and the cashier says, okay, I will give you one more. No. That should just about do it, all right? That should just, or this handbag that you already gave me should just about do it.
Con este es suficiente.
Con una sola es suficiente, ya está, nada más, all right? What about this one? I'm through what? What else do we have here? A ver qué tenemos acá. We are through. Y acá tenemos up, to go, quits, over with, note. I'm through. I say goodbye. Yeah, normally, what did you just say? I'm through?
For the day.
I'm through for the day. Yeah, I'm through for the day. Very good. What is that? I'm through for the day. ¿Qué será? For example, here, it says, let's go 10 more minutes. Let's go running 10 more minutes. Vamos, vamos que todavía quedan 10 minutos. And then we are through.
Como que logramos, por así decirlo, un objetivo.
Yeah. Or for example, let's go 30 more minutes of this class and then you are through.
Como estar hecho.
Ajá,
Claro,
ya
están
está.
hechos.
Sí, ya terminamos, ¿está? Y terminamos.
Claro, como que el día está hecho en ese caso.
Claro, I'm through for the day, ya está. Ya está, ya es todo por el día. Ya hice todo por el día. All right? Terminamos. Ya terminé el día. Así. So much what? Esa me parece que va con for the day mejor. ¿Sí? So much for the day. ¿Qué dice acá, for example?
For 1 hour.
Yeah, so much for 1 hour, it says. Yeah, so much for 1 hour. So much for the day. Right? Vamos a ver cuál es entonces la que dice I am through. ¿Sí? What is this one? Times what?
Up.
Time's up, right? What is the meaning of time's up? For example, in a test, the teacher says, time's up, please. Yeah.
Claro, tiempos tenemos.
Time's up, right? This one, 5 down and 2. And 2 what? ¿Qué hay acá? 5 down and 2.
To go.
To go.
To go, very good. Yo no sé si me están contestando siempre todos los mismos y los otros están redurmiendo, o no sé si es que los otros están haciendo otra cosa. So 5 down and 2 to go, right? What is the meaning of that? So how many minutes have we been running? ¿Cuántos minutos hemos estado corriendo? 5. 5 down and 5 to go. What is the meaning of that?
Será como que estuvieron 5 minutos corriendo y 5 minutos como preparándose o algo así, ¿o no?
Como que corrieron 5 minutos y faltan 2.
Ajá, very good, right?
Okay.
So, menos mal. Vamos, ya pasaron 5. Vamos que faltan 5 más. Vamos, vamos, vamos. ¿Sí? Because they are out of breath. So, for example, now you can go to a gym in the USA, in the USA or in the UK or wherever, and when they say, come on, 30 minutes down and 30 minutes to go. Bueno, ahí respiran. Dice, vamos, vamos, que nos quedan 30. Vamos, right? Vamos que nos quedan 30. What about this one? On that what?
Not I will say goodbye.
On that note, I will say goodbye. ¿Qué querrá decir eso? On that note, let's go for a cheeseburger. ¿Qué querrá decir eso?
Let's go to the cheeseburger, como que vamos por una hamburguesa de queso.
Yeah, but I want the expression on that note.
En ese caso.
Ajá. Sí, en ese caso no, because it will be on this case, right? Pero ¿qué podría llegar a ser?
En este momento, ¿no?
It says, next time, we'll go for 1 hour and a half. I'm feeling very healthier already. Yeah, on that note, let's go for a cheeseburger. All right? Sí, con respecto a eso, que te sentís más saludable. Che, vamos por una cheeseburger. Right?
Hablando de eso.
Ajá, hablando de eso, on that note. O con esto último que me acabas de decir, che, con respecto a esto último, right? I would say goodbye, right? Acá en este caso, con una amiga. Y con eso, una enemiga o un enemigo. Y con respecto a eso, o hablando de eso, me voy. Chao. Me las pico. Well, that's what. That's what.
It's for me.
Very good. That's it for me. Very good. That's it for me. And what is that?
Como que eso ya está para mí, como es suficiente para mí.
Con eso es suficiente, ¿sí? Con eso es suficiente. For example, cuando ustedes a veces que me preguntan los alumnos, profe, ¿puedo? That's it, ¿sí? Hasta acá llegamos, that's it, esto ya es suficiente, ¿está? That's it. Very good. Let's call it what?
Quits.
Quits. And what is the meaning of that? What does it mean?
Decir suficiente por hoy.
Ajá. I'm ready to call it quits.
¿Pero quits no sería callar? No.
Quits es como dejar algo, to quit.
Quitar, claro.
Claro. In this case, let's call it quits. Ya, pasemos a otra cosa, ¿sí? Terminemos. Let's call it quits, ¿sí? Let's call it quits. ¿Y qué nos quedaba? I'm through. ¿Y cuál era la que nos falta?
For the millionaire lifestyle.
Very good, for the millionaire lifestyle. What is that? ¿Cómo lo podríamos traducir? ¿Qué podríamos decir? I'm through for the millionaire lifestyle. ¿Qué podríamos decir así? Estoy viendo ahí unos tecladitos. I'm through for the millionaire lifestyle. ¿Qué será? ¿Qué será millionaire lifestyle?
Una vida millonaria.
La vida millonaria, sí, o el estilo de vida millonaria. ¿Y qué habíamos dicho que era I'm through?
Como ya terminó, ya es todo.
Claro, ya es todo. Y bueno, ya para mí ya es suficiente de este estilo de vida. Now I want to be poor. Right? ¿Sí? ¿Se dan cuenta? Ya es suficiente para mí esta vida de ricachón que llevo. Voy a volver a trabajar. Voy a dejar de vivir con el sugar daddy o lo que sea y me voy a poner a trabajar. Right? So I'm through for the millionaire lifestyle.
Profe, I don't understand the last one. Let's call it quits.
Let's call it quits. You have another one that is more, that is commoner, I would say. Let's call it a night. Right? Let's call it a night. Ya lo vamos a dar por terminado. Demos terminado esto. Demos por terminado esto sería. Let's call it a night is commoner. Lo van a escuchar mucho. You also have let's call it a day.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. ¿Sí? También van a encontrar eso. Como demos por finalizado el día, ya está, vamos a dormirnos, ya está. Let's call it a day, vamos a acostarnos, terminamos. let's call it quits. Puedes terminar algo. All right. So now I want you to use these phrases in order to respond to these situations. So you need to use one of those phrases in order to respond these situations. So Marucci, can you read number 11?
Yes. So, how long have you been at medical school?
Uh-huh. What would you say?
Con las oraciones de arriba es.
Uh-huh.
How long? Sería
I
como
mean, you can use the phrase and you can add more things.
Would be 2 years and 3 more to go.
All right. Okay, so for example, 2 years, 2 years down, and what else?
And
2 years down.
3 to go.
3 more to go.
Okay, and 3 more to go. All right, very good. So that will be one, for example, way to answer to this situation. What about this one? Flor, can you read? Flor Migani. Come on, give
Yes.
me another 30 seconds.
¿Leo o no? Perdón, es que se me tildó.
No, just the answer.
Bien. Podría ser so much for the day.
Yeah, but there is one, I would say, that is more appropriate.
Por ejemplo, había una que decía que era suficiente. Let's get this over with.
No. ¿Qué es lo que era let's get this over with? Era como, che, vamos a terminar esto, nos vamos a poner las pilas y nos vamos a terminar.
Podría ir el well, it's for me.
Yeah, but in this case no tenemos que usarla tal cual está así, sino que diríamos no. Yo, por ejemplo, cuando les digo, that's it, please, hand in, entreguen, ¿sí? No, that's it. Se pone la gorra, se pone la gorra el profe, el teacher, ahí está. No, that's it. All right?
Could it be time's up too?
Yeah, no, time's up, and that's it. Right? Time's up, and that's it. Very good. What about this one?
Por ejemplo, 5 down and 2 to go no sería, porque eso es cuando...
No, porque faltan 5 minutos.
Claro,
faltan 2 minutos y ahí te estoy... Give me another 30 seconds, please.
Claro, es al revés.
What about this one? Flor Saavedra. Where will you go after the performance?
We'll end up going back to his place.
Very good. So we'll end up going back to his place.
To his place. Así dice la respuesta arriba.
Pero yo no quiero la respuesta arriba, quiero con otra cosita. So we'll end up going back when you go to the theater or when you go dancing, then you normally go back to, or you go back. ¿A dónde volvemos?
En el teatro, theater.
Ya hemos estado en el teatro. ¿A dónde volvemos?
Home, to home.
Very good. We'll end up going back home. Very good. Excellent. What about this one? Number 14, Silvina. Silvina, are you here? No, Silvina is gone. Se fueron un montón. What about Andrea? I was going to marry her because I thought she was rich. ¿Qué podríamos decir acá?
A ver, por ahí me fijo. Well, that's it for the millionaire style life. ¿Cómo era? I'm through. I'm through.
Espérate. I'm through.
The poor life sería al revés.
Claro, pero no entiendo, creo que me querés decir.
Que dice, I was going to marry her because I thought she was rich.
Ajá.
I'm through.
Yeah.
For the poor lifestyle.
All right. So, in this case, we can say I was through, because this is the past.
Sorry.
I was through for the millionaire, sorry, for the poor lifestyle. Right? Very good. And this one, I owe you another beer. What is the meaning of owe?
Como que voy por otra cerveza, algo así, ¿no?
Te debo.
Te debo una cerveza. And this one, Miriam, what would be the response? Sí, pero Miriam había entrado. Bueno. Paula Vera.
That should just about do it.
All right. That should just about do it, but there is one more appropriate, I think.
So much for the day.
Como para que no tome tanto.
Plan.
All right. Yeah, it could be. It could be that should just about do it. Right? And what else? So much for the day. No, but so much for the day. We can say, oh no. Oh no. That's it. So much for the day. Right? ¿Y qué otra más puede ser?
Let's call it quits.
Let's call it quits. All right.
Let's go in for the night.
No, pero ahí le tenemos que agregar más cosas, ¿sí? No, that's enough. That's enough, right? Let's call it quits. But it could also be, for example, yeah, on that note, I will accept it. Right? Sí, hablando de eso te la voy a aceptar. All right? Okay, so let's see. Now, you're going to working, sorry, 1 second. I want you to make for the last 10 minutes, I want you to work in groups, all right? Ustedes están todos en WhatsApp, ¿no? ¿Están todos en WhatsApp? Todos.
Yes.
¿Hay alguien que falta? Yes. So, I want you to work in groups, and you're going to... You're going to make a dialogue using one of the phrases from exercise 6, right? Que en realidad es este ejercicio, pero yo lo que quiero es que incluyan un diálogo y que incluyan alguna de las frases que están acá, que son las mismas, ¿sí? Son las mismas frases que hemos visto acá. Espérame un segundo. Mi perro se desespera. Yo no entiendo por qué a mi perro le pasa eso, pero se desespera cada vez que viene algo. Hola. Ulises, vení para acá. Todos ya van a saber el nombre de Lucas. Bien. Entonces, con alguna de las frases que hemos visto acá, ustedes van a hacer, right? You're going to make a dialogue, right? A dialogue. Pero, ¿qué es lo que tiene que incluir este diálogo? The last line of the dialogue must be one of the following phrases. We ended up taking it off. Let's get this over with. So, on that note, I will leave you with the keys to my Ferrari. That's it for the little ones. Now, how about those big ones over there? Big ones quiere decir los grandes. Little ones, los pequeños. Time's up. That's 2 down and 98 to go. So much for the modern technology. Let's call it quits. Let's eat one more and then we'll wrap it up. Wrap it up quiere decir envolverlo. ¿Sí? Vamos a envolverlo. Just put those the nose on and that should just about it. Right? Esa no la vamos a elegir porque no la hemos visto. Y el we ended up taking it off, ¿sí? Taking it off, ¿qué quiere decir? Por ejemplo, when the plane takes off, ¿qué quiere decir? El plane takes off. Y hace así. Despegar, ¿sí? O irse. Quiere decir alguna de esas dos ideas. ¿Está? La número 10 no la vamos a elegir, ¿sí? La número 10 es la única que no vamos a elegir. Las otras pueden elegir cualquiera, ¿sí? But remember to include some phrases that we have already seen, all right? And you need to end up, all right, with some of the lines that you have here, all right? Tenemos que terminar esto, ¿sí? Con alguna de estas frases. Is it clear? Bien, no los voy a dividir en grupos en WhatsApp, no los voy a dividir grupos en Meet. ¿Quieren grupos en Meet o quieren grupos en WhatsApp mejor? ¿Qué les es más fácil?
En WhatsApp.
¿En WhatsApp? ¿Todos en WhatsApp? ¿Tienen algún problema?
No, profe.
¿No? Bien. Les voy a dar los grupos, ¿sí? So, Andrea, you are going to work with Flor, with both Flors. Flor Migani and Flor Saavedra. Lucia, you're going to work with Marucci and Paula Medina. And Paula Vera, you're going to work with Rocío and Rodrigo, right? So there are 1, 2, 3 groups, all right? 3 groups. Créense un diálogo pequeñito de cualquier situación, about any situation, right? And you need to include. Yes, Lucía.
Esa frase, la única forma de estudiarla es de memoria.
¿La única forma de estudiarla qué?
De memoria, o sea, tengo que estudiar esa frase de memoria.
Son frases en realidad que...
Son muy difíciles.
Y son frases cotidianas, Lucía. Nosotros decimos corta la bocha. ¿Vos te crees que para la gente que viene del extranjero entienden qué es corta la bocha? Se la tienen que estudiar de memoria. ¿Qué es corta la bocha?
Como decir, para un poco.
Ajá. Así es. Cortita la bocha. ¿Sí? Así como te lo digo. ¿Está? Bien. La gente que viene del extranjero dice, ¿qué es corta una bocha? No entiende, right? So, that's why